Herzlich willkommen zum Periscope Livestream und dieser Mann hier, das ist der Rattenfänger von Hameln. Und der da im Hintergrund läuft, das ist ein Besucher, der ihn, glaube ich, fotografieren will. Rattenfänger, Michael Boyer im echten Leben, leg los.
Hallo, das da hinten, da wo es hell ist, das ist der Berg. Hinten da zu Ende der Straße. Und da hinten, sagen uns 4 verschiedene Historiker, sind die jungen Leute ums Leben gekommen. 4 different historians tell us that the young people died up there on that mountain. This is not the Brothers Grimm. This is not a fairy tale. This is CSI Hameln. Also Sie sind hier in einem Krimi mit mir. Wollen Sie mitkommen? Wir schauen die Stadt an. Wir machen die Touristen platt auf dem Weg und schauen die schönsten Sachen in der Welt an. Guck das hier. This Rattenfängerhaus. Have a look at this. This is one of the top 100 sights to see in Hameln. Not just me, the house itself. And it's built in 1602, in 1602, 400 years old. And what's its name? What's it say on it? It says Rattenfängerhaus, the Pied Piper's house. But it's not true. Like so many other things aren't true in this story. Come and look at this. The house was built by Mr. Ahrens. And Mr. Ahrens was a rich and influential man. He was the Mayor of Hameln. Der Bürgermeister von Hameln hat das Rattenfängerhaus gebaut. Nicht der Rattenfänger. Der Rattenfänger hat hier nie gewohnt. Er hat hier nie gegessen in der Restaurant. Die ganze Fassade ist 300 Jahre später gebaut. It's 300 years later that this facade was built. The Piper never ate here in the restaurant. It's called the Piper's house because of an inscription on the side. And that, my friends, is where we're going, over here. The famous inscription, jawohl, willkommen. It's written up there, the handwriting on the wall, Pravda, the truth. Es ist geschrieben anno 1284 am Tage Johannes St. Pauli, war der 26. Juni durch ein Pfeifer mit allerlei Farbe bekleidet gewesen, 130 Kinder verledet, binnen Hameln geboren, to Calvary by the coffin verloren. This means on the 26th of June, 130 young people were led away by a colorful man to never be seen again. There's nothing about rats. Da sind von vorne bis hinten keine Ratten hier im Bild. Und das ist nicht alles. Nein, diese Straße heißt seit 600 Jahren der Bungelosenstraße. Bunge is Old German for drum, alte Deutsch für Trommel. Der Straße ohne Trommeln, der Straße ohne Musik. Sie finden hier kein Restaurant, kein Musikgeschäft, kein Instrumentenladen. Selbst ich spiele keine Musik hier in Erinnerung an die hämische Kinder.
Darfst du denn hier so rumbrüllen denn?
Ja, natürlich. Warum sie Hameln verlassen haben und wo sie hingegangen sind, darum geht es hier. There's no music in the street for 600 years now. And where the children went and why they had left Hameln, that's what it's about. And that's what we're going to find out. But first, we have to fight our way through the rats. There's rats out there. Ratten sind überall. Looky here. We've got metal rats on the street. There are other rats painted on the street. You will see things like rat food and rat statues. And there's one man responsible for all of this. And he's right down here. Also der Verantwortliche haben wir gleich vor der Linse. Folgen Sie mir bitte unauffällig.
Okay, das ist der Rattenfänger in seinem bunten Kostüm mit seinen lustigen Schüchchen.
Oh Gott, I forgot.
Ja.
Ich habe eine Psychose. Ich sehe orientalische Leute um mich mit Fotoapparate. Solltet ihr das sehen, dann ist die Psychose übertragen worden per Periscope. Oh Gott!
Und ich bin mir nicht ganz sicher, ob der Typ nicht vielleicht auch ab und zu mal, ja, weiß ich nicht, sich so ein paar bunte Pillen einwirft. Ich glaube nicht. Er ist einfach naturverrückt. Es ist der Rattenfänger von Hameln. Und er spielt wunderbar Klarinette. Und wir sind hier live bei Periscope. Auf einer kleinen, exklusiven Stadtführung. Nur für euch da im Internet. Und er wird uns so ein bisschen was erzählen. Oh, hier. Applaus. Auch von den Gästen aus Japan oder aus China. Davon haben wir ganz viele hier in Hameln. Der Rattenfänger ist weltweit berühmt. Guckt ihn euch an, dann wisst ihr warum. So einen verrückten Typen, den gibt's echt nur einmal und zwar hier bei uns in der Rattenfängerstadt Hameln. Wir laufen jetzt hier durch die Stadt. Das erste, was wir gerade gesehen haben, das war das Rattenfängerhaus. Dort hat er ja ein bisschen erklärt, gibt es auch diese eine Straße, in der man auf gar keinen Fall Musik machen darf. Das hier, das ist aber die ganz normale Gasse und hier kann er spielen, wie er will. Was machen wir jetzt? Rattenfänger, warum gehen wir jetzt hier in das Buchgeschäft?
Look at this, look at this. The people of Hameln love the rats. The people of Hameln worship the rats. They're on the internet. You can find them under the phrase Rattenfestival 2014. And it will show you per GPS where all the rats are at. But it's not only that, no. It's bread rats. It's cakes rats. It's rat filet in the can, for Pete's sake. The people of Hameln bake rats. The people of Hameln eat rats. And the man who's responsible for all of this, he's right over there across the street behind all of these tourists. Fight our way through the tourists. Come on.
Es gibt also in Hameln jede Menge Ratten als Merchandise, als Kuchen, als Igitt, irgendwas Fleischfilet oder so. Auf jeden Fall ist dieser Mann verantwortlich für all dieses Rattengedings.
This is the man you were waiting for. This is the fairy tale man, the magical man. This man never existed. This is the Rattenfänger from Hameln, the rat catcher. And this man is a fake. He's a fairy tale. Es gab ihn nie. Aber hier, wie aus dem Kinderbuch gesprungen, spielt er Musik und die Ratten kommen aus allen Löchern. Just as if it's out of a children's book, the rats are coming out of all of the holes. And they're following the piper down through the river. In a tale of madness that can be destroyed with one logical sentence of 3 words. Ja, dieser Irrsinn. 3 Wörter unterbrechen es. The Irrsinn is... Rats can swim.
Okay. Und du bist ja der da, oder? Das ist ja...
Nein, ich bin dem nicht. Auf keinen Fall. Ich bin der Pfeifer. Ich bin der Mann von der Inschrift. Ich habe 130 junge Leute aus Hameln geholt. I was the one who took 130 young people away. The fairy tale man is a joke. There's more to it than this, my friends. This is madness. There's rats on the street and rats on the walls and 8-meter-high stainless steel rat statues here in Hameln, my friends. The only place we can find intelligence and wisdom is just a few meters down the way. So this is the roller coaster of madness and wisdom. Come look at this.
Okay, weiter geht's. The Roller Coaster of Wisdom, hat er schön gesagt. Der Mann, den wir hier sehen, das ist im echten Leben ein ganz normaler, bodenständiger Mensch. Er schlüpft aber jeden Tag in seine verrückte Rolle als Stadtführer und Rattenfängerdarsteller. In echt heißt er Michael, aber wir nennen ihn nur den Rattenfänger von Hameln. Und er ist für uns hier live auf Periscope auf einer exklusiven Stadtführung. Wir gehen jetzt durch die weitere Innenstadt. Es gibt nämlich noch ein paar Stationen, die so ein bisschen die Hamelner Geschichte erklären und die Geschichte vom Rattenfänger. Als nächstes kommt da hinten nämlich schon das Hochzeitshaus. Ist ein wichtiger Bestandteil dieser großen Stadt, ich möchte mal sagen, großen Kleinstadt. Mit rund 60.000 Einwohnern ist Hameln ja eher klein, aber mit fast 4 Millionen, glaube ich, 4 Millionen Tagesgästen pro Jahr ist es schon eine sehr große Touristenstadt. Und der Rattenfänger wird uns jetzt weiteres erklären. Where are we now?
This is not the piper.
No.
This is a little girl. You can see better if you're over here on this side. And this little girl is called the curious girl, die Neugierige. And like curious girls do, she's standing here going, "What did you say? What did you say?" And this is a great place to have her curiosity filled because we're here on the Hameln Museum. This is the central point of intelligence and wisdom in the city of Hameln, the repository. And in these 2 buildings, you will find everything you need to know about the piper. The old handwritings that were done, the big thick books that were written about the piper. You will see the stone cross that the brothers Grimm reported on. There's the reception of the story in the form von artworks, statues, storybooks, also in real romans and novels books. We have lots of paintings I noticed, and on top of all of that, every half an hour there's a mechanical Pied Piper room where you sit in the mill on the bags of grain. The rats run around all over the place. It's created from an artist of Switzerland, and because it comes from Switzerland, it reminds me of the inside of a cuckoo clock. But you can see all of that when you come to Hameln and look. Here on the outside, you see two different schools of thought. This is pride, and it is a lot of humanism and Renaissance. The other side, with the wood carvings, is superstition and faith. There are two rows of biblical people on the wooden house, and up under the roof are planetary gods or astrological signs. And you're looking at all of these planetary gods, and you see the moon and Mars and Venus, and then here at the top right-hand corner, you see a chap drinking beer. That's the man who built the house, Mr. Poppendieck, a rich and influential man. He was the mayor of Hameln.
And he was drunk, or?
No, he was celebrating that his house was finished. He's having a big celebration, and he feels safe and cozy about his house, because all of this design on his house is to keep an evil spirit away. I bet you're wondering what evil spirit that was, aren't you?
Bisschen gruselig.
Yeah.
A little bit scary.
Of course it is, because he was afraid of the piper. He was scared to death of the piper. And all of the people of Hameln were. But in order to explain that, I must take you to where the story begins. We work a little bit backwards around it. Kommen die Deutschsprachigen alle noch mit? Ansonsten musst du übersetzen auf dem Weg.
Oder du sagst einfach 2, 3 Wörter auch zwischendurch mal.
Ja, also die rechte Seite, das ist Humanismus, da sind Obelisken drauf, da sind Ringe im Löwenmaul aus Stein gemeißelt, alles was Gold aussieht, ist Blattgoldlack. Und das linke Haus zeigt also der Angst, der die Hamelenser hatten vor der Pfeifer damals. Hier handelt es sich um 1558. Und die ganzen Daten machen die Sache aus. Because it's a criminal story, there's a lot of information that you need in order to find the solution to the problem. We're going to the scene of the crime. We're going to look at the place where it really happened. Wir gehen zum Tatort und jetzt kommt natürlich weiterhin das berühmte Rattenfängerlied. You're hearing the Pied Piper song, and this song you can download out of the internet as a ringtone for your cellular telephone. Please remember that.
Commercial ernst. Okay. Also, wir haben uns jetzt das Museum angeguckt und der Rattenfänger hat nochmal die schöne Bauweise erklärt. Hier sieht man, im Jahr 1284 wurde das Ganze hier
They hate me, you know. They've got my story in the gutter here. I'm in the gutter.
Es wurde halt auch sozusagen der Grundstein gelegt hier im Jahr 1200 irgendwas. Ach, diese ganze Rattenfänger-Geschichte ist natürlich mega kompliziert, aber einer, der sie jeden Tag erzählt, ist Michael Boyer als der Rattenfänger von Hameln, dem wir hier gerade folgen bei Periscope. Hier kommen wir jetzt endlich zum Hochzeitshaus und zum Tatort, wie er das genannt hat. Vorher weiß ich nicht, was der da macht. Manchmal weiß man einfach nicht, was dieser Rattenfänger so macht. Er ist ein bisschen verrückt. Oh, Achtung, Cops, pack die Drogen weg. Obwohl der Rattenfänger ist, glaube ich, wäre der einzige Mensch hier in dieser Stadt, der mit den Taschen voll LSD wahrscheinlich unauffällig durch die Stadt laufen könnte.
They're trying to get us, but we're not going to stop.
Er ist das Symbol der Stadt, der Rattenfänger von Hameln. Er ist weltbekannt und hier in dieser Stadt täglich zu sehen. Es gibt insgesamt, ich glaube, 4 verschiedene Rattenfängerdarsteller, aber dieser Mann ist the one and only, der einzig wahre.
We have one for our friends in the United States now. The building down at the end of the street there, the half-timbered building, that's an building, a half-timbered building, a Gothic half-timbered building from the year 1500. 1500 is exactly 8 years after Columbus discovered America, and the building is still standing here. But if you think that's old, that's nothing. Look at the church. The church is where the story begins. It's the year 1284, and a colorful man arrives with a flute in his hand. He goes around the church and through the town and leaves going east with 130 young people. You've read it on the inscription.
Ja.
But that's not all. The church was built like a big cross in the old days, and the corners were added later. And as they added this corner, they put in a glass window about the Piper. Also in diese Ecke war es original Rattenfänger Glasfenster. Wir haben sogar Zeugen. We even have witnesses like our Latin school teacher Samuel Erich. And he told us in wonderful old German exactly where the glass window was, namely, gehen morgen rechts neben dem Beistuhl bei dem Ratstuhl gegenüber.
What?
That means the big window over here.
Uh-huh.
It's the biggest window in the church. I'm larger than life. I'm like Godzilla and King Kong all at once. And in front of me there are smaller figures. At the bottom of it is water. Mm-hmm. And so water gets involved in the story. You can read in Knaben Wunderhorn that the children were drowned in the river. And historian Hans Dobertin tells us that the young people walked for 4 weeks across the Uckermark north of Berlin all the way out to the Baltic Sea, where they sailed out at Johanniterhof on Jaiziro Kopan and then went down with their ship. Gluck, 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 everybody. Now, you know
really
why
sad.
You know why I'm not a fairy tale? In a fairy tale, they all live happily ever. Everybody dies in my story. I'm not a fairy tale. Don't forget it. But the people of Hameln have forgotten where the glass window was, and they've forgotten that the big warning, Anno 1284, went around the big glass window. What they did, though, is at the 700th anniversary of the tale, they put in a new glass window, unfortunately, here on the side of the church, where no tourist finds it on his... Well, I can show it to you. Come on.
Let's see it. Also der Rattenfänger zeigt uns jetzt hier die Stelle, die Touristen eigentlich nicht so oft sehen, weil sie einfach nicht zwischen diese Gebäude, zwischen die Kirche und dem Hochzeitshaus kommen.
Exactly. And the church used to be built like a big cross, and you can see it quite readily here on these roughly hewn stones that have been standing here since the time of the Piper. They're still standing today. In the center of it is the glass window. It's an artwork by a chap named Klaus Zimmer. Mm-hmm. And if you move left and right, you may see even less reflection. And it's got, just like the original glass window, a lot of color. There's a lot of children, but there are no rats. Es gibt keine Ratten. Die Ratten sind ein Märchen. The rats are a fairy tale. It's all about the children.
Darum geht's ja, um die Kinder.
Yeah. And that's why the people of Hameln couldn't forget it. Now, you know that most of your pictures in the glass windows or in the church are of saints and other famous people, not real normal people like the Piper. And there's a reason why, because I'm not normal. Have you noticed I'm not normal?
Oh no.
Ist aufgefallen, dass ich nicht normal bin? Normalleute,
Gar nicht.
Also Normalleute findet man nicht in der Kirche. Nein, die Kirche erzählte was anderes. Vor vielen, vielen Jahren, die haben erzählt, ich bin der leibhaftige Teufel, that I am the devil incarnate. Which is a good reason to leave the church and go this way.
So, jetzt steuern wir gerade auf die Hochzeitshaus-Terrasse zu. Das ist hier in der Innenstadt von Hameln ein beliebter Ort für Veranstaltungen, für Konzerte, für Auftritte von Jugendgruppen. Ja, und ab und zu steht auch hier der Rattenfänger und pfeift uns ein fröhliches Lied auf seiner Klarinette.
Yes, my friends, it's up here on this stage that we do the Piper play in the summertime. And 3,000 to 5,000 people watch. It's a big rug of heads, just a sea of heads out there. And we do a musical in the summer during the high part of the summer. And that's 2 shows a week, over 20 weeks a year. You'd think that would be enough rats for the people of Hameln, but no, the people of Hameln need their daily rat. And they get their daily rat up here.
Ja, also hier sind immer
37 bells that play music 5 times a day. Now I must admit to you, we've already gone over the site. It's already evening now, but you can see it every day on the internet at YouTube or wherever else you're going.
Und wie viel Uhr ist das immer? Um 1, glaube ich.
1 o'clock in the afternoon, yes, that's one of the regular times. And like I say, it's been filmed enough times. Every tourist films it. It's been posted on everything in the world. And you can find it if you can't see it on our film. I'm sorry. You've got me. I'm more interesting than the old wooden head there. Ah, dear friends. We discovered the Hochzeitshaus, a big festival hall for high times. And normally it has nothing to do with the Pied Piper. That's what you think. No. In reality, it's a hidden secret and nobody notices it, but you, my friends, are going to find out. Are you ready to discover the truth? Are you sitting warm and dry? Come along. This may be a shock to you.
Okay, der Rattenfänger will uns ein Geheimnis zeigen. Eins, was uns schocken wird. Jetzt bin ich ja selber ein bisschen gespannt, weil ich nicht genau weiß, was er meint. Ich hoffe, wir werden es alle überleben. Er hat es ja ein bisschen dramatisch angekündigt. Hier live bei Periscope. Ich bin Gebrüll und folge gerade dem Rattenfänger. Folgt mir doch einfach oder abonniert meinen Kanal auf YouTube. Ansonsten gibt es mich auch bei Facebook und Twitter und Instagram.
The wunderlicher Mann. This is a phrase, a coin of a phrase that was made up by the brothers Jacob and William Grimm when they put out German Legends, a book that came out 199 years ago. That means next year there's something special to celebrate in Hameln. And the Wunderlicher Mann is our selfie picture here in Hameln. I'll demonstrate how it works. You lay down here adjacent to the Wunderlicher Mann. And then you photograph yourself with your cell phone from above. And you post this on the Facebook page Wunderlicher Mann, where a lot of other people and myself are already laying on their backs. So, if you like our show, then come and lay down on the back with me on the Wunderlicher Mann page. But, before that, the Hochzeitshaus, the festival hall for high times. It's a building that's sort of divided in 3. There are 3 entranceways. There are 3 diagonal buildings on the roof that accentuate the entranceways. Almost all of the lines going through the house are in 3. Above each of the entranceways, there's a phrase carved in stone that tells you it was once the city apothecary, the city scales, and the city wine store. But the trained eye of the detective has discovered that there are 3 entranceways and there are 4 phrases. I don't think anyone in Hameln has ever noticed that. But you know more than the locals. Let's have a closer look at that oddball.
Okay. Wir gehen ein bisschen näher ran. Ich habe übrigens auch schon mal auf der Pfeife vom Rattenfänger geblasen. Diesen Satz wollte ich unbedingt mal sagen. Dabei ist es eigentlich eine Klarinette und es ist super schwer, Klarinette zu spielen. Respekt dafür erstmal. Ja.
Every sign has a door. But here we have a sign with no door. The door is closed. Maybe the mountain has closed behind us. And you remember hearing about carved in stone, a sign warning you about the Piper. This is one of them. And what you see written up here, carved in stone in wonderful old Low German. How close can we get to that? It says, nach Christi Geburt, 1284 Jahr, gingen bei den Koppen unter fürwahr 130 Kinder in Hameln geboren, von einem Pfeifer verführt und verloren. And if you know German, you know that the verb comes at the end. The most important part is the verb. The whole sentence runs and then it's like this, that, the other thing, and then swim is the last word. The third word from the last, there are 2 of them in this sentence, is the most important one. And it is verführt. That's what we're talking about here, verführt. Verführt?
Verführt?
Don't learn German?
Verführt, doch.
We're talking about seduction.
Aber hat nichts mit Leidenschaft zu tun, oder?
Oh yeah.
Doch. Oh.
And suddenly it takes on a whole new atmosphere, doesn't it? Come along. We're being followed by tourists. Be careful.
Normalerweise folgen ja dem Rattenfänger die Ratten, beziehungsweise der Legende nach die Kinder. In diesem Fall sind es aber viele Touristen, die ihn einfach nur geil finden und es so abfeiern, wie er ist.
Come, shoot back. Aha, I can shoot back. Wait a moment. So.
Wo gehen wir jetzt
I
hin?
don't go unarmed throughout the city. No.
Wir haben nicht mehr so viel Zeit, Herr Rattenfänger.
I just wanted to show you where the children used to live.
Aha.
The oldest part of Hameln. Lovely little half-timbered houses all in a row. And here, in the very heart of the town, is where 130 young people lived. The historians tell us we're talking about teenagers of a marrying age. You could marry at 14 in the Middle Ages, so we're talking about young people that leave this part of the town for the same reason as today. There's really nothing going on back here. It's a little bit boring. It's not like in the pedestrian area where the tourists and everyone is running about. And it's been boring since the year 1200, as the very center of Hameln, they built a thoroughfare around it that today is the pedestrian area. And the industry broke down, but you find a few items of quaint interest here, like here's a piper painted on the wall, naturally with rats. It's got to have rats.
I've never seen this before.
It's because when the Germans call the piper the rat catcher, they have these rats in their mouth, and then they think of rats, and all the rats become part of the story for them. Because the English people talk about the Pied Piper, they normally say, "Where are the children?" Which is the real answer. Look at this. This is an old casting from an old foundry we had here in Hameln. And there are quite a few of these around and about, but they're getting rarer every day. They're rusting, of course. And here in these side streets is where the young people live. In lovely little half-timbered houses.
Oh, beautiful.
This one will show you what they look like when they're taken apart. Sometimes we take them apart and put them back together. And that keeps the houses quaint. They lived back here, they were bored to death, and they decided to leave the town. According to most of the historians, they wanted to build new villages, to leave here, to be free men, marry, have children. And they did it at the drop of a hat during church services on a Sunday morning. What? Come on. Das kann nicht stimmen, oder? That can't possibly be right. Have you ever tried to entice a teenager of a marrying age who normally lays on the couch the entire day to stand up, leave home, and go build new villages without saying goodbye, loading a whole lot of stuff, and nobody notices? Young people don't do that.
Irgendwas muss passiert sein.
Yes, and it was the piper.
Wer sonst?
Have a thought about this, my friends. We have the lovely street to look at just around the corner. Have a thought about this. The people of Hameln are in the church, and they're wearing black and beige and gray, and they're boring, and they're playing Gregorian chants. They're and the young people can't hear it anymore.
Boah, gar nicht
They
schlecht
want
gesungen.
some new music. And this colorful man arrives in town. Nobody's colored like this. And he's got an instrument in his hand. He's playing entirely new music. Young people love entirely new music. He's foreign speaking. He speaks a strange dialect that sounds good in your ear. And according to one of the other stories, he was good looking. This is the combination of Justin Bieber, Elvis Presley, and Lady Gaga all at once. And the young people of Hameln get up out of their houses. They let the iPod fall to the ground. They come out into the street and dance, and they walk up to the end of the street past a little girl who sees them leaving. 3 buses full of teenagers of a marrying age who are dancing and singing and under the influence of alcohol and the dried mushrooms for medicinal purposes. Shh, don't tell anyone. And they dance past the little girl, leave the town, and never come back. And that is probably what tortured those people who were left in the church. They tried with their Gregorian music for years and years to impress the young people, but in the end of it, it was rock and roll and music that was able to motivate young people. And it's still that way today. Dear friends, to know it all, you have to come to Hameln. It takes about 7 hours to do the whole story. And
7 hours?
7 hours or more. And then I change into German. And in order to see it done right, we have to go all the way up to the mountain where the landslide is and down to the river to see where the rats should have been drowned. And I thank you for your kind attention. Für alle, die Deutsch sprechen, ich hoffe, dass es nicht zu viel war, aber der gute Gebrüll hat zwischendurch auch was erzählt. Wenn es recht ist, dann machen wir hier einfach so ein bisschen Abschiedsmelodie. Ich laufe wie der Pfeifer in den Sonnenaufgang. Namely, the piper always goes into the sunrise, not into the sunset. That is American. The sunset is the American side. No, the piper goes to the east. And of course, a traditional song of the good old days as I disappear toward the horizon. Thank you for your attention.
Das war also die kleine Stadtführung mit dem Rattenfänger. Exklusiv. Er hat es natürlich alles auf Englisch erzählt, weil im Nachklapp vielleicht auch einige Menschen aus Amerika zuschauen und die verstehen halt gar kein Deutsch, aber die meisten, die Deutsch sind, verstehen ja Englisch. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und alle, die bis jetzt dran geblieben sind, Respekt! Ich wünsche euch, es war sehr lustig, ich wünsche euch einen schönen Abend und diesen Mann hier, der jetzt hier so langsam verschwindet, wie er das gerade angekündigt hat, den sieht man hier in Hameln eigentlich jeden Tag. Ich bin Gebrüll, da ist die Kamera, ihr seid cool, ihr habt zugeschaut und folgt mir doch einfach bei Periscope. Ich bin jetzt auch erstmal raus, hat mir sehr viel Freude gemacht, hier mit euch eine kleine Spezialstadttour zu machen mit dem Rattenfänger. Bis zum nächsten Mal auf meinem Live-Kanal oder bei YouTube oder bei Twitter oder bei Facebook.